Castrol Activ, cling on to football, India's biggest football hangout. It's a show that's about you. It's a show that's about the fans, about the enthusiasts. Really, thank you so much for joining us. It's bigger than the last time because we've got new technology this time, all part of history. Well, I am finally for the right reason. This time we're getting the hangout to you. You don't have to come to the hangout. The hangout comes to you. So Muhammad must not go to mountain. Mountain comes to Muhammad. So you just sit where you are and just enjoy this football discussion. Well, joining me, returning guest from last time. He gave us a lot of animated opinion last time. But I just want to remind him that England was still playing at the time. So there's going to be a few tears right now. Just please excuse him. We have Paul Macefield. Before we say hello to him, let's just show you a little bit of what he was sort of ranting about the last time he was here. Have a look at this.
Big disappointment from Brazil. It was a step back instead of a step forward. Yeah. No one could have predicted 5-1. Yeah. I mean, if you did, you'd be a millionaire now by just putting $10 on, you know? Overrated, idiot, stupid.
Criticizing after one game, and maybe that's not fair.
Where is your old Ronaldo?
So when Paul was saying overrated, stupid, and an idiot, he was talking about me indeed. Hi, Paul. How are you? We know, even just we just picked that clip out of nowhere, but I know you were talking about Pepe, weren't you?
Spot on. Absolutely spot on.
Just a no-brainer there, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you, Mace? You going well?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it's been a fantastic World Cup so far, and it's getting better all the time.
It's a bit of a, it almost feels like a Wild West gun-slinging battle, isn't it? Like everyone's fighting everywhere.
It's because you never know who's going to win. That's how this World Cup's gone. So, you know, everybody's in it to win it. Even the minnows are upsetting the big boys, and long may it continue.
Great. So we're of course gonna bring Mason a lot more things. We also have Baichung Bhutia here with us. Baichung, before we come and talk to you, let's also, you were of course much milder in your reactions than Mace was last time, as you always are. But you also had a few moments of yours. So let's have a look at this. This is Baichung. Last time we were at the hangout.
Number of goals that's been scored in this World Cup, in just first round, it's been amazing. I think I would go for Eden Hazard. You know, the best goalkeepers in the world, I feel, are the ones who do not dive so much because they're already in a great position. Quality players can, you know, turn around the match, and that's what Van Persie did.
Well, Baichung, there haven't been that many goalkeepers diving this time, but a few of them have been flying, haven't they?
I think it's been a World Cup for goalkeepers. In fact, we've been talking about all the strikers and scoring goals, but in fact, I think goalkeepers have really taken the spotlight. And I was mentioning of Tim Howard, who's had great, fantastic tournament. And for me, I think the way he's been, you know, below the goalpost, just his positioning and getting out and timing of coming out has been fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, people would find that strange first up because it's a World Cup where so many goals have been scored. Yet you say that the goalkeepers have really sort of been stars, which means that without them, this could have been like, what, 10 goals a match kind of World Cup?
It could have been. If you watched USA versus Belgium, I think it could have been quite a number of goals. But just being Tim Howard there below, keeping for USA, I think kept them on the game.
You're a Howard fan, aren't you?
I am.
Not as much Ochoa. No, Howard fan. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, of course. We also have a very interesting fan who's joining us because she's been a professional football player at the country's highest level. She's played the Nationals, and yes, she does know the offside rule. Hopefully she will explain that to us today. Niyati Bharucha. Hi Niyati, how are you?
Hi Gaurav, I'm good. How are you?
You're a big fan of the game. I know you're watching all the games. You've been on social media about them.
Yeah.
My question to you is a technical question, is how do you still manage to look so fresh despite having staying up all those nights? Because we're not managing that.
Coffee.
Coffee, is it?
Coffee.
Mace, it's not coffee,
Yeah.
it's youth.
Yeah, we're getting a bit older, I think.
That's what it is. It's youth. Just don't show the white in my beard now.
Yeah.
Yes, please don't do that. Okay, Niyati, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We
you,
hope
Gaurav.
to hear a lot
Thanks for
of
having me.
opinion from you as it goes along. I believe it's going to be quite fiery.
Yeah.
Which is why I put you with Baichung, because he's a calming influence.
It feels great to be sitting next to Baichung, just by the way.
I thought so.
Pretty cool.
He's a calming influence.
It's not beside Paul though.
Yeah.
Especially after England's disaster first round out. So
We couldn't
That's
put
true.
Niyati and Mace on the same couch because we felt the studio would catch fire.
absolutely.
It really would. Okay, we have another football maniac here with us. Well, he's a big football fan. Last time, of course, he couldn't be here and he sent his buddy, he deployed his buddy. They're very close friends, if you know what I mean. We have seen that in the past. And Abhishek Bachchan had joined us here last time. Let's show you a little clip of Abhishek before we welcome him.
The kind of euphoria that surrounds India during the World Cup is something which is unparalleled. We're a bit paranoid about, superstition, so we sit in the same place.
No kidding.
Yeah. The greatest thing with most World Cups is the fact that the underdog always gets to shine.
Okay, we have John Abraham here with us. Hi, John. How are you?
Good.
Abhishek is quite opinionated about his football, yeah?
Oh yeah. He knows his football really well.
You see your friends, despite him being a Chelsea fan?
No, he's very passionate about the game, and you should see him when he actually follows the game and he plays the sport like a true football player.
Yeah.
When he gets injured, the expressions, when he goes to the sideline, he's amazing.
Yeah, he kept calling you captain, didn't he?
You did.
Kept calling you captain.
And I had the opportunity to play with Abhishek for the All-Star team, and he's very, very passionate about the game.
Well, John, now apparently you've been sort of waking up people, throwing some parties for the semi-final and viewing parties and stuff. Tell us about that, won't you?
Yeah, so on the semi-finals on the 9th, I'm having a small get-together for all you guys who want to watch the semi-finals with me. And this is all Klingon to the World Cup, thanks to Castrol. And if you guys want to come and watch the football frenzy, then just go onto the World Cup section of the page, answer a few simple questions, and you could be watching the semi-finals with me.
Are they simple questions, really?
Yeah, they should be simple. If I can answer them, they have to be very simple.
But you're asking them.
Yeah,
They're not, but
I'm the lucky guy.
of course, there's a chance to watch the semi-final with John, and hopefully over the next few minutes we might even be able to get an answer out of him of which team he supports, because he's a very diplomatic person.
No, not really. I've been pretty clear from the start, from day one, and we'll talk about it a little later.
Okay, on the Hangout, it's time to welcome some of the people. Some of the people who are joining us. We have Animesh Thakkar who's joining us. Animesh, are you there, buddy? Great, Animesh, would you like to ask anyone here a question? One question. This is not your show; it's mine.
No, only one it is.
Go on.
No, can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Paul a question.
Shoot.
So you've seen Spain over the last 6 years. They've dominated football on the international circuit. Going by just this World Cup, do you see any other international side repeating that for the years to come, or it should be a 2 or 3 year battle?
Very, very good question. I think the way that Spain have played tiki-taka is a little bit dead, because teams now know how to counteract that and they can get stuck in. But the one team that's impressed me to an extent, and I think it's just been a little bit too soon for them, was the French side. I think that they play good, expansive football, nice and open, and a very young side as well. So I think that that's a side that could blossom. And I'm predicting, keep your eyes open for them in 2 and 4 years' time when they start to mature and really come to the party. So the answer to that would be Spain could have a look at Spain. It was Spain. It's France's turn next.
Great, thanks so much, Mason. Thanks so much, Animesh. I did ask Paul about, sort of this World Cup, and he did sum it up for us. But let me ask Niyati and Baichung also. Feel free, whoever wants to take that first. If you were to just sort of describe this World Cup in a couple of lines. Niyati, why don't we start with you?
Shocking and very exciting. So we've got a lot of World Cup favorites out. And we've got a lot of World Cup favorites in, still going and still gunning for it. You've got Brazil still in, Germany still in. I think they're going to get to the finals. We've got Netherlands still in. I'm rooting for Netherlands this time. I've been a Spain supporter for a while. I'm really upset they're not.
A lot of people are.
Spain and Portugal. No. Yeah, really. Speaking of Spain, Neymar's out, so that's upsetting. That was another shocker.
Yeah.
And not to see him now for the rest of the World Cup is going to be quite bad. So yeah, shocking and exciting. That's all I can say as a fan.
Baichung, what about you? It's sort of been, as you said, a big goal fest, and about the goalkeepers. What else has sort of struck out for you?
So I think the best thing about this World Cup has been a lot of small teams doing really well, and especially South American teams, because it's been the tournament is in Brazil, and South American teams are supposed to do well. And also I think one part where where a lot of European clubs are struggling is I think heat as well. That's played a major role. So for me, I think a lot of the small teams like Costa Rica, Colombia, Mexico, these teams doing well, and big teams like England, Italy, Spain going out in first round was quite a shocking.
You Indian players must be looking at 30 degrees and going, well, that's a nice summer day. What are you wanting to take a cooling break for? Stop it already. But John, for you, if you just had to sum up this World Cup so far.
Well, I think the game's been extremely fast. It's been the football's been very attractive, and you know, when you see the average distance each of these players runs, it's amazing. You know, for a layman point of view, 9-10 kilometers, and with the extra time coming in, they run about 12-15 kilometers. It's just outstanding. So I can imagine what Baichung goes through when he runs out there in 30 plus with the humidity at about 78, 79, 80%. So it's been very attractive football, very attacking, and rarely have you seen any team go on the back foot. So it's really been exciting.
Yeah, it has been one of those, as we said, it's like a Wild West gunslinging kind of battle. It's like a cage match and all the gloves are off. Well, we have Priya Parekh also joining us on the Hangout. Priya, if you have a question, please fire away.
My question is for Niyati. Hi,
Yes.
Niyati.
Hi.
How has it been to be like a female footballer in India? And can you tell me more about your experience since the time you started playing this game?
Okay, so firstly, nobody expects me to know the offside rule. As Gaurav said, I know it. But it's been really interesting to be a female footballer in India. I was a little pessimistic about it at first, and I always thought that, you know, I couldn't do sports as a career. But I think that people like, especially people like Baichung, who's been the captain of India, who's played so well with Mohan Bagan, and like Mohan Bagan plays really, really good football. I saw more of that being broadcast on TV, and that gave me a lot of hope for football over here. I've been for nationals. We get treated really well at nationals. We get put up at really good places. We get trained really well. I've seen some very good coaches come down from Spain and from Portugal to train the club that I play for, and it's changed. I think since the World Cup's become so big, especially since the qualifiers last year and the Euros before that, people are so into football now that it's very encouraging. My parents have become so much more encouraging of it. So I think there's a change. I think India is seeing a change, not just for women's football, but for football all over. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you Priya,
Thank
for
you,
that
Priya.
question. Niyati did mention that you're getting coaches from Spain and Portugal to come in. You might have a few more right now because they have some time, don't they?
Yeah. Ouch. Ouch.
Okay, well, let's move on to sort of the high points of the World Cup so far. Let's just get to the round of 16. I know a lot of you are very eager to hear about the two matches that happened last night, and of course the two that we're expecting tonight. Some great football we saw in one game last night, and the other one was sort of not as great as you'd expect to see it. But let's talk about the round of 16 first. So basically, just want to jump in here. The points just roughly out of the round of 16 that sort of struck out and deserve a mention.
I think what Baichung said, the minnows coming to the party. I think the big thing was that all the group leaders won their round of 16 ties as well. So you've got to say, on a whole, the best sides have won and got through to the final eight and deserve to be there going into the quarterfinals. But there's been some fantastic open play from everyone concerned. But there's also been some dull football here and there as well, which has to be expected. But no, the quarterfinals hasn't disappointed so far, and I don't think it'll disappoint tonight.
Yeah, but just on the round of 16, I think the one question I definitely want to ask is that penalty that Netherlands got. But before that, do you think the round of 16, did all the matches have the kind of bite that you expected?
No, I think a lot of the big teams. I know exactly where you're going. A lot of the big teams failed to perform. Yeah. Suarez didn't, obviously. Yeah. He took a God knows what. I mean, if I call Pepe stupid, I don't know what I've got to call him, because it's absolutely ridiculous what he did. And then you've mentioned there, it's been a World Cup that's had good bits, it's had bad bits, because you've got the Robin dive, as you alluded to earlier, and you know, those are the bad things in football. We don't want to see those, but the good things are that the minnows are giving everybody a game. So the gap at the top of the rankings or the quality of teams is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which is only good for football globally.
Yeah, but the Netherlands-Mexico game, I know there was a lot of people who were rooting for sort of the Mexico, as happens, right? You always sort of root for the underdog going through, sort of, it's the braver story. But just that bit that happened in the end, the last few minutes.
I think the penalty, obviously, what Paul said was a bit harsh. But if you're watching an entire 90-minute match, I felt that there were occasions where there was a genuine penalty call for Robin. But I think when a defender goes into a tackle, and if he's not going to get the ball, I think you should not go at all for tackle. And any striker in that position are bound to make use of the tackle which the defenders don't win it. So I think Robin did make most out of it. But I also felt that Marquez should not have just tackled it, because if he's sure, 100% sure, then you go for it. Yeah. If you don't get it, the strikers are bound to take advantage of it. So for me, I think it's a bit harsh, but I think Robin, there's slight touch, and anybody would obviously claim for it, and strikers are like that, they would make the most out of it.
This is why I asked the striker the question.
It's a striker against a defender, because if he did that to me, I'd pick him up like that. I'm sure that's happened to you before.
But Neil, listen, you obviously have just said that you're a Netherlands fan. Was your heart in your mouth as it went into the last few minutes?
Oh, absolutely. My God, that was so stressful. So what happened was, for the first half, I was stuck in traffic. It was a night that it was raining in Mumbai. I'm on my way home from work, and I'm stressing out because where do I watch the game? I can't check my phone, I'm driving. Turn on the radio and I'm listening to the commentary on the radio. And I'm like, man, this game isn't picking up. They're not scoring. And I get home and I watch that second half, and the second half was in the extra time. And I'm like, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm tweeting every 5 minutes. I'm tweeting every 5 minutes. And they finally score. Schneider finally gets the ball in.
One of the best goals I've seen. Schneider's goal.
Amazing.
Stunning.
Schneider, and then Huntler, after coming on. That was wow. There was complete excitement at home.
I can imagine. Were you for Netherlands or were you for Mexico then?
You know what? Ochoa has become like this cult amongst goalkeepers, and even though I think Neuer's as good a sweeper as a goalkeeper, Ochoa is like this. I mean, you ask any kid right now and he loves Ochoa. So true. I enjoyed watching Mexico play, but my heart's with Netherlands, and it's just enjoyable to watch Ruben keep persisting. He just doesn't seem to give up. Yeah. And the guy's stamina is unbelievable. So it's just great watching Netherlands. And when Schneider hit that bullet shot straight in, just a straight kick in, it is just unbelievable to see such a powerful kick. It was Schneider coming back into form. Yeah. He had a great World Cup in 2010, and then suddenly seeing him back here was really great.
Yeah, well, if you want to sort of tweet to us, you can do that. Our hashtag is clingontofootball. This is, of course, it's also a hashtag on Google+. You can write us on Twitter and Google+. This is the first time that we're using technology like this. Thanks to Castrol Activ, thanks to Google, that we're being able to bring this Hangout straight to you. But that's not all that we're bringing to you here at Castrol Activ. We also have this little semi-final party that John was talking about. So, John, I'll let you tell people more about that, of how they can sort of take part, to people who just joined us.
Yeah, to all the people out there, I'm having a party, more than a party actually. It's a get-together for all the people who want to watch the semi-finals with me. And all you've got to do is visit plus.google.com plus clingontofootball, and you get to see the semi-finals with me. The more the merrier, and I wish there are many kids out there who want to come, and many people out there who want to come and watch the game with me. And if the crowd gets too much, then we'd shift the location to a place where we can accommodate more people. Honestly, Gaurav, I've been told that, I've been instructed that we can get 15 people in there. But I'd love for 150, 200, 300 people to turn up. So we put that kind of pressure on ourselves and Castrol, who's been so gracious in having us here, so we can get so many people to watch this game with all of us, in fact.
Like each one sitting here. I can see the Castrol people getting on the phone right now. Bigger venue!
Oh my God!
Bigger venue right now!
We've just been invited, so we're okay.
As long as the drinks are free, we're happy. 2 words get us to any party. Open bar. That's right. Really quickly talking about some of the other games as well. There was USA Belgium. We're going to talk to Belgium about it because your boy was the star, wasn't he?
Yes. For me, I think Team Howard had an outstanding game, but for me, my team has always been Belgium. They were the dark horses from the beginning. And Paul just spoke about Spain and how they're losing out, and then France coming in. But other team who's really going to also make it big, for me, I think is going to be Belgium team, because they've got a young side. I think there are a bunch of talented players there, and this team is, I think, in few years' time, I strongly feel they're going to. I put them to go to the finals as well, and maybe win as well this time. But if not, I'm sure this team is going to definitely win European Cup, or maybe go on to win World Cup maybe in next 4 years' time. So yes, the USA has been fantastic under Klinsmann. Team Howard was outstanding, but I felt that that match, I think Belgium outplayed USA. The Team Howard was strong in the goalpost, but yeah.
Let's talk about, of course, the two matches last night. There was that big game, which well, there was so much happening in that game. There were fouls, there were goals, there was a stadium that was going absolutely mental. There was Rodriguez on one side, there was Neymar on the other. I don't know. Paul, it'll probably take us about 90 minutes to sum up what happened in that 90-minute game.
At least that. I think to sum it up in a couple of sentences, Brazil's best for 45 minutes in the first half. That's the best they've played in this tournament. And we thought that then all of a sudden the second half they'll kick on. The second half, kill the game. Yeah. Because that's exactly what they did. It was all stop, start. I mean, a complete stunning strike. Yeah. I mean, it was an absolute belting free kick. It was a wonderful goal to give them that 2-goal advantage. But it played into Brazil's hands. But Brazil did something yesterday that they haven't done for a long time, and that's mix it, where they started putting challenges in, and literally Rodriguez has been fouled 12 times throughout this tournament. 6 of those was in the game against Brazil. So they knew how to put their foot in and get the job done. So the question is, Thiago Silva, another yellow card, Neymar out for the tournament. Can they go on and win it? Their inspirational leaders out for the semi, and their best player. It's a huge ask now.
But that knee into the back, that was just, it's just one of those sickening visuals when you look at it, isn't it? You can just imagine, or you can't even imagine what must have happened at that point in time.
Yeah, but I think looking at that game as well, it was very physical from both the sides as well. And looking at Colombia as well, I felt, maybe if they could focus on the kind of football they play, which they could have played easily and done it well. But I think there was a bit of plan as well from the beginning of the match. They wanted to go hard on Neymar, and that's how Brazilians also went hard on Rodriguez. So it was, I think that fall was something, something which you don't want. You don't want your own colleague or your opponent players to get injured, and which is very sad. Because of one hard tackle or one stupid foul, we all the football lovers all across the world don't get to watch great players playing in big matches. So that's a sad thing. But I think he even did not get a yellow card as well. So
do you think the ref was too easy yesterday? Do you think he should just laid the law down in the first 5 minutes and said, I'm not going to have any of this?
I felt so. And when we talk of Suarez biting and FIFA comes after it and giving him a 4-month suspension, which is not the kind of bite he's done. Obviously, it's something which he should not have 3 times in a row. But FIFA goes on to give him 4-month suspension, fine, and 9 to 12 matches, international matches ban. But you have players who are going there, getting those tackles high and wanting to enjoy your fellow footballer and try and get him out of football, maybe football career as well. And then you don't have a punishment after that. That's I feel is a bit unfair. So I think if FIFA has to be serious on players who are just trying to actually tackle and get somebody injured and ruin their career, I think that's where I think they need to review it and see and take action.
But John, as fans, I mean, I know you're a big Neymar fan, and as fans, you just completely feel denied that you're not seeing.
I kind of agree with Baichung, but at the same time, I felt, if I was looking at it from the referee's point of view, I just felt the referee wanted the game to go on. And there were, that's what they said in terms of statistics. There were 54 fouls, 31 on one side, 23 on the other side. So the referee just wanted to, I guess, speeden up the game, or I didn't understand his rationale, and that's why they let a lot of people just go. Yeah, but that foul was pretty tough for Neymar, and when you saw Kuniga's leg coming down on his back, it was. But I also thought James Rodriguez had a number of fouls committed on him, and I think he was the player to really watch out for, and he's absolutely talented, and they kept bringing him down.
6 goals for him. Niyati, is he your most exciting player for this World Cup, or do you have any other favorites?
My heart's gone back to Robin now. I think seeing him after so many years play so well, played really well, and he's shown some amazing skill even at his age. in spite of the fact that a lot of teams are putting forward really young squad.
Yep.
England had a very young squad, and
We didn't see many of them.
Yeah, she looked at me then. It was like England. I did.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
I know what
They're a good and young squad. Maybe we will see more of them later. Even Pogba from France. France had a very good young squad.
Yeah.
But to see Robin just, wow, really up the energy, kept me really excited. I'm very excited about everything.
His energy is unbelievable. I agree with you.
Amazing, yeah.
After he scored his goal also, I mean, he just kept running on like he just seemed to have so much more extra stamina. It's amazing.
Yeah, but I remember one of his runs in the early matches. That was
The fastest ever.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
It was a great quote when he came out afterwards, and they timed it and clocked it and said he was the fastest footballer ever. And he turned around and said, "I knew I wasn't as quick as Usain Bolt." I mean, that sums it up. But I mean, you can pick and grab statistics from all over the place,
Yeah.
but it's actually all that matters when you look at the screen is the little numbers in the corner. Who wins and who loses, particularly when you get to the knockout stage.
So that was a very exciting match last night. We'll be hoping that we get two other quarterfinals as exciting as Brazil-Colombia tonight as well. We have someone joining us on the Hangout. It's Karan Rateria, is it? Have I got your name right, Karan?
No, Gaurav, it's Karan without the second A, but it's okay. I've been
Karan.
used to it all through my life now.
It's Karan.
Karan.
Yes.
All right, Karan, what's your question?
I'd like to actually ask either Paul or Bachung who would choose to take this. It's basically players you see nowadays, they play differently for the club and for the country. You see, for example, someone like a Miroslav Klose. They don't really turn out for the club that much, but for the country they overperform. Why does that happen? Is it pressure? Like, why do people perform so differently?
I'll take the first bit. I actually think it's the other way around. They turn up for the clubs and not for the country. I think that's the problem that you definitely have in England, and particularly when players are being paid such vast amounts of money. When you play for the national team, it's an honour to pull the jersey on. Baichung will tell you in a minute that's what it's all about. It's about prestige, it's about representing your people, but that doesn't prolong your football career. And you have a look now, Neymar gets injured. If he was to finish his career tomorrow, Barcelona aren't paying him £250,000 a week. So that's why they give everything that they have for the clubs as opposed to the international level. The older players, it's slightly different. Like you mentioned with Klose. Klose goes into this knowing that he's got a record to get. If he scores one more goal, he'll be out there all on his own as the leading all-time World Cup scorer. So for me, that's why you see maybe the older players know it's their final swan song and they give it that little bit extra.
Would you like him to be? Oh, I personally, as a fan, would like it to be tied at 50.
No.
You want Klose to go ahead?
I just want someone to be number one. That's it. And everybody looks up to a number one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it was Ronaldo, Muller, it's gone through the ages of how it's been. But no, I mean, if it's a couple at the moment, there'll be a phenomenon come along one day that'll smash that record all over the place.
Could be Rodriguez. Could be. Yeah. Could be. Well, all right, thanks so much for that, Karan, sorry. Thank you so much for that, Karan. Well, we're going to go on to our next segment. This is about you being in the hot seat, you being the manager. We'll discuss a few of the games. We want to hear from you what you would do if you were the manager of any of these teams in the World Cup. We know we've had some very interesting things happening here, managerial calls that have been happening. So tell us what you would do. Tweet to us using #ClingonToFootball and let us know what you would have done in that situation. So, for example, if you were the manager of England or maybe the man behind Chile, what would be your strategy? Anything that for you, whether anything Roy Hodgson done, anything Van Gaal has done, Klinsmann, Joachim Low, anything, anyone, just get those tweets coming. We want to definitely hear from you. And I'm going to get a quick word on Roy Hodgson from Paul before we move forward.
Everyone's pointed the finger and said he should leave and all this. Great point that you made earlier. He's bringing and brought kids into the squad.
Yeah.
It's a team in transition. He's only been in charge 2 years. He got thrown in charge of the Euros the last time out. And now he needs 4 years to build a team. And now he's starting to bring the younger players in. England, we mentioned earlier, Baichung mentioned Belgium, I mentioned France. England, you mentioned England. There are 3 teams there that could progress in the next few years and have some outstanding players and some real quality. But Hodgson, you can't sack him after 2 years of a 4-year contract because it's just turning the wheel again. Who do you bring in? Then they start to build again. So it's another 2-4 years before it turns again. So that's why Germany have got it so right. Joachim Löw's been there. He was there under Klinsmann.
Yeah.
He's been there now. This is his second World Cup.
Yeah.
So there's consistency, and that's a key issue in management.
And he dresses really well too. Sharp dresser, isn't it? In fact, I think there's a rule that they have, because I remember the 2006 World Cup. You had Klinsmann and Löw dressing exactly the same, and now Löw and his assistants dress exactly the same. I think it's one of those German precision rules, isn't it?
Weren't allowed to wear shirt and ties either. They dress down for the occasion, which makes everybody feel relaxed. If everybody's there, slip up a collar and the suit's on there. We're nice and chilled.
On the other extreme, of course, you can just dress like Scolari, can't you? I just rolled out of bed and here I am. Well, John, we've got a question for you. You, of course, you're a team principal now. So if you could just quickly tell us about your team a little bit, and then tell us the top 3 things as a team principal that you would like to focus on.
Yeah, so we have the Indian Super League, and this is what I was just chatting with Paul a little earlier and Baichun now. I think for your knowledge, India is the only country where FIFA has made an exception, and they have a 2-month league, which is what I call the incubation league, to kickstart any kind of interest in football. And obviously there are 8 franchises, and I've picked up the franchise for the northeast of India, and which is why I'm following Baichun around to be my goodwill ambassador, to be my brand ambassador.
I know he was complaining that he went to his window at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can't get a better man for the job than Baichun Bhutia. And obviously, we represent 8 states in the northeast, the 7 sisters and 1 little brother now, that's Sikkim.
Yeah.
And we want to get them to the rest of India. And the focus has to be on the league itself. ISL has to be a success for any team to be a success. The Indian Super League has to be a success. Of course, my partner, Larsing Saiwan, he and I co-own a club called Shillong Lajong. We have to focus on players, getting the right kind of players, which is his expertise, and he understands that space better than I do. So get the right kind of players on board, and of course, build a great marketing campaign for this team, so you actually appeal to a younger demographic to come and watch football. And I always say this, I was telling Paul this, that yes, a lot of youngsters out here have nothing to relate to, which is why they follow a lot of English clubs and Spanish clubs. But it would be nice to see them follow Indian clubs. It would be nice to have their allegiance to some Indian club or the other. And we hope that one day we'd have followers for Northeast United FC, just like they have it for any of the English clubs.
Yeah, that's really good. It's fantastic, the effort that they're making. And Baichung, we definitely need more support for football in India, right? I mean, you have kids who are crazy about, the EPL, for example, and, about Madrid and Barcelona and all of those. And we need those bums on seats like we spoke about last time when Indian clubs play.
Yeah, I think ISL, Indian Super League, could be an answer to that as well. And I think it's important that, we have a good league of 2.5 months, which I hope is going to be a success, because that's how I think you bring in the crowds, and also you bring in, you make superstars out of football, which is very, very important, so that the young generations could connect with you. And people like John, who's very passionate about football. Ranveer is taken a team. John is taken a great team, Northeast United. That's where and a number of talented players come up from there is great. And is partnering some great people from Northeast. Larsing, who has Lajong FC. So I think it's a great initiative which has been started, and I think Indian Super League is a league that can actually start off with. But yes, there are a lot of things to do. We've got to work on grassroots level. We've got to work on youth development. But I think at the moment is to bring in the crowd, to bring in the investors, and make the league more exciting. And then after that, I think we can work more towards grassroots as well. Go
and watch the games, definitely. I mean, football in India can only work if the stakeholders, the spectators, the fans of the game are involved. So definitely want you to be involved. We want you to tweet. We're getting a lot of your tweets in. We want some more. The hashtag is clingontofootball. Of course, we're here thanks to Castrol Activ, and we're making history actually here, because this is the first time that technology like this is being used in India. By the way, it was used for the first time by President of America, Obama. So, not too shabby, eh? It's good for him, it's good for us. No worries at all. Can I get a quick word in from our guests here on this segment that we call Word in the Studio? I'm going to start with Paul. How's the World Cup been for you so far? I mean, you've been a follower in India this time. Yeah, how's it been for you so far as a follower?
Crazy. crazy. People coming up to us in the streets and asking us questions. And I said, I don't remember whether I mentioned it last time. I was in a shop just getting a couple of drinks, and this old lady, poor dear, about 70, 75, came up to me and started chatting about the World Cup. The passion here has been amazing, and wherever we've been to watch the football, I've been out for dinner with my chum and we've watched games. Everywhere's packed. Everybody just loves it, and I can see exactly why John is involved in football, because it is going to be the next big thing. It's going to be a generational thing where the youngsters coming through now, and with the likes of Baichung and everybody leading football forwards, it's going to be huge. It's massive now, but going forwards, it's going to get bigger.
And it's interesting that you say that, because the audience for a World Cup, Baichung, I think it's safe to say, is much beyond your regular football fans, right? I mean, your fanatics, so to speak, the ones who follow every club and know every transfer news. It's sort of bigger than that, isn't it?
Absolutely. But I want to tell you an incident which happened to me in Delhi. You know, I was driving in midnight after watching a game, and I got stopped by a cop, and he asked for my license. So they have a regular check, and I gave my license. And he said, "Oh, Paichung," but he said, "What are you doing so late in the night?" I said, "I just watched Brazil match and I've come back." He said, "Why are you watching Brazil? You told in the television that Germany is going to win." So I was really shocked. A constable who's, you know, and in Delhi where people, I thought at least a policeman who's, you know, would not be bothered. But it's like, you told Germany is going to win. I've been following you in one of the, you know, news channels.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked. I said, "Well,
how can you lie to us? Under section 420, I'm going to catch you." That's funny. Maybe for you as well, this World Cup, do you think, if you look at your friends around you, and you're obviously a big football fanatic, I'm sure you watch football all through the year, but do you see a lot of people who are not regular football watchers drawn to this 1 month?
Oh yes, absolutely. I have so much conversation with my granddad now. So like, he will watch the news just to find out what the scores are. So he won't stay up late like I would.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not good for his health. But he will wake up in the morning and religiously turn the news on, and then he will give me a call, and he will say, "Oh, did you watch the match last night? What a goal!" And I'll be like, "Wow, it's awesome." And my friends, if I go to my friend's place, their parents are watching, their grandparents are watching.
Yeah.
Even when we're out on the street, if there's a shopkeeper who's, you know, he's just taking a 5-minute break or something like that,
everyone's glued.
He will go to the nearest TV and he'll be watching.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see the fan base grow. I can talk about football to anyone now.
Yeah, it's brilliant. All of India has sort of become like active bones. Castrol Activ active bones.
You said something that was brilliant, and it needs to be activated now. This is the passion, is football, and it's starting to arrive. It needs to infiltrate locally as well.
Yeah.
You can support your Man United, you can support your Liverpool, you can support whoever you want, but go out there and go and support your local teams as well.
Absolutely. So after World Cup, they can go direct into ISL in September. So John will have his Northeast United as well.
Straight proud to be a Northeast United man.
Yeah. I stopped listening after Paul said I said something brilliant. By that time I was like, all right, good night, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we have time for. Baichung, we got a question on Twitter. Really quickly, I'm going to ask you, any lucky charms that you carried on field or before, any superstitions, anything?
I'm not allowed to carry anything on the field apart from the superstition. Yes, I try and follow exactly what I've done last match. If my last match has gone really well, or my team has won, I've scored, then I try and follow the same kind of, like putting my left shoes first and all that stuff. So
that's interesting. I mean, to carry on the field, you take a little Ganesha idol. Just put it there. This is my good luck charm. I'm just going to tackle around it. Okay, real quickly, we're going to go on to our next segment. John, of course, is a big football fan as well, big enthusiast. But today, he's decided that he is going to become a quiz master. Apparently, you have some rapid-fire questions that you're going to ask everyone. And we have a few people on the Hangout as well. So would you just like to ask them as well? You team them up?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've got something prepared here.
So I can sit back for 3 minutes now.
You can sit back for 3 minutes. And so let's kick this segment with, let's kick it out with one member of each team on the panel. So I'm going to don the hat of a quiz master. Now, since football is a team game, we're going to do this where our panel will have one member in each team. So we have Paul, who's going to team up with Karan, Rateria, one of the fan ambassadors who we just spoke to. Baichung is with Kishore Sundar, and Niyati, you're with Animesh. Good. Now, these are the questions for Paul and Karan. Johan Cruyff performed his famous Cruyff turn during which World Cup?
Karan, should we get that from you?
Yeah, sure. I think it was the 1974 World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that one recently, so I think it's the 1974.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
The Cruyff turn which gives you a quad strain every time you see the replay. It's like, how did he do that? It's like, no.
I think Paul, you've got a great partner in Karan, so
I'm happy to sit back.
let's ask him the second question and then you can cover up for him.
Paul, your friend in this team, by the way.
That doesn't matter, we keep winning.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second question. Who scored England's hat-trick against West Germany in their 4-2 win in the 1966 World Cup final at Wembley?
Who's this?
That's easy for Paul.
This is a question for Paul and Karan. So, should we let Karan
go for it? I know the answer.
Okay, I think it's Joe first. He's still the only one to score a hat-trick in the finals. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it's over. It is now.
It is.
Okay, the third question.
Okay, cool.
Who scored a memorable hat-trick for Italy in their 3-2 win against Brazil during the 1982 World Cup in Spain? And I must tell you guys, this is when I got initiated into the World Cup. My dad made me actually sit up and watch the World Cup since 1982. So I've been watching every World Cup, every game possible from 1982.
Niyati's thinking, I wasn't even
born then. So Karan, do you have an answer to that question?
I think I do, but Paul, do you want to take this one? At least get one for the team.
Go on, I know the answer. I know the answer.
I think again it's again fairly easy because Paolo Rossi, because he set the World Cup on fire. So I think it's Paolo Rossi.
Well done, buddy. You're on fire right now.
Well done, partner. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you, Paul. It was nice having you by me for moral support.
Of course, Paul's going to pick up the cash prize because you're not here.
And Paul's the octopus.
I'm running there right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's better than Nelly the elephant, I suppose.
Yeah, true.
Okay, now these questions are for our second team. That's Baichung and Kishore. Kishore, can you hear me out there? Kishore, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. How are you?
Can you hear me,
Hello.
Kishore? Hi,
Yeah, I
Kishore.
can. Hello.
Okay, great. Now the first question, Kishore, is which Brazilian captain lifted their 4th World Cup trophy after winning 4-1 in the 1970 World Cup final against Italy? What Brazilian captain?
Pele even gifted him a goal in that. This is so easy.
Do you want to take it or do you want me to?
Yeah,
Why don't you take it?
Kishore, you can take it. Let me think.
It is Carlos Alberto.
Well done.
He just joined with us, so I remember.
Yeah, that ball looks like Neymar.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Does he look like Neymar? Yeah.
He does.
Okay, the second question. His goal against England during the 1986 World Cup quarterfinal was said to be one of the greatest individual goals ever
You
scored.
should have answered it by now.
Who is he?
Diego Maradona.
Oh, that's lovely. That's one of the most amazing goals that we saw.
That is quite easy, man.
That also had a turn, didn't it?
He's the best goal ever scored
Yeah,
in a World Cup.
Best goal ever scored?
Ever scored in a World Cup final.
The turn, the run, everything.
I spoke to Peter Reid about it. Peter said he was going flat out and he was trying to catch him.
Paul,
He said, and he just kept going.
There's a very close one. The Saudi guy also scored one goal, which is almost the Saudi Arabian.
No, but to do it at that level,
Yeah, that level.
it's
No, but that was also in World Cup, the Saudi
Yeah.
guy scored.
Okay, you have
Okay, this is
one
the
more question. Yeah.
Yeah, the third question. Which player scored the fastest ever goal in World Cup's history after a defensive error gave them the lead after just 11 seconds in the 2002 World Cup?
Tough one.
You want to answer that?
I think you should take this one.
You know it? I know it. So you want to take it?
I'm not too sure, but maybe it's Hakan Sukur from Turkey.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Good job. Now we've got three questions for Niyati and Animesh as well.
Yeah, so Animesh, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, great, Animesh. Hi. This is for you and Niyati. The first question is, who's the first and only England player to claim the Golden Boot?
Do you know this? You want to take this on, Animesh?
If you want, you can take it. I think I know the answer though.
No, go for
Then
it.
you
Go
must,
for it.
Animesh.
See it.
I think I read it on Twitter. It's Lineker, Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
That's well done. Okay.
Okay, the second question is, which Italian striker won the silver boot, silver ball, made it to the World Cup dream team, but missed the penalty in the '94 final?
That's easy. It's Baggio.
Oh, wow.
And the last
God, these
question.
guys are amazing.
Yeah.
We might as well just go home.
Joke.
Okay, the third question is, in which World Cup final did France triumph to win their first ever trophy?
I know you know this one, Animesh. You want to say it
I
at the
know
same
you
time?
want, you can take it, I think.
Let's say it at the same time.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. 1998.
98.
Yes.
Now that's teamwork.
That's awesome.
Nice one, Animesh.
College couple.
Unbelievable.
You hang up first. No, you hang up first. That's very sweet.
Okay, Gaurav, so I've asked them some questions,
Yes.
and now there's a question for you. So here goes the question. What is Castrol Activ doing in this World Cup?
I get the important questions, remember that. Castrol Activ is doing exactly what they do with bikes. They cling on, and it's really been a crazy ride so far, so it's been fantastic. And Cling On to Football has actually been a campaign that has been very successful for Castrol Activ because it's all about the fans. It's all about enthusiasts. It's just like this. It's friends sitting and chatting about football. We're not going too much into left and right and where it came from and why the defense was doing zone marking or not. We're basically talking like friends about all these things. So we have questions for you as well on Twitter. Cling On to Football is the hashtag. So just tweet us on that if you have questions, you want to do anything. You can also win autographed Castrol merchandise. So the question for you, this is the question. A 24-year-old center attacking midfielder who joined Bayern Munich in 2008 and is playing in his second World Cup currently.
One of my most favorite players.
There's the second clue, and the third is he already has 9 World Cup goals for his country. Who are we talking about? So send us your tweets quickly. There's autographed merchandise that has to be won. All right. So what we're going to do is we have a few things to talk about right now. Of course, the hits and the misses of this World Cup. We're going to talk about the players who have been great and the players who we thought would be great and were not. So I'm going to quickly get all you guys in this. I'm going to give you a minute actually to just quickly think about it while you have a look at this. Well, first up, let me thank all of you for joining us on the biggest football hangout that we have, India's biggest football hangout. This is Castrol Activ, Cling On to Football, and we are making history here today because this is the first time that a hangout is coming to you instead of you coming to it. We were talking about the hits and misses. I'm going to get by tuning in first, a player that has impressed you the most, and you can't say Howard.
James Rodriguez. I think before coming to this tournament, I'm not sure a lot of football people who followed the game would have heard about
They
him.
still called him James.
Yes, but you know, he's moved to Monaco as well. I think it's almost taken, I think, 40 million pounds or something moved to Monaco, and in fact, he's won a lot of trophies in Portugal when he played for Porto. So for me, 22-year-old guy coming with with Colombian team who had Falcao, the biggest star of Colombia team, not coming to this tournament due to injury, and James Rodriguez coming there and taking the show and taking the team all the way to quarterfinals. So for me, I think he's been the main.
James Rodriguez.
And I strongly feel 6 goals is good enough to win in the Golden Boot award.
Yeah, it just good. It was good for Schillaci. I remember in And in 19 India, Lotus Kalachi at 6.
Kalachi.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lineker had 6 as well.
I think.
But this is one of those Wild West World Cups. You never know, huh? You never know if 6 is enough. Niyati, for you, the player that's impressed you the most?
Pogba.
Pogba?
Pogba has done a great deal at such a young age.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. And he's
Maybe not as much
really
as this
put up
World Cup
great-
though. I mean, you probably, expected him to just sort of pop out a little more in this World Cup, did you? Because I certainly did. Or maybe just...
Well, I have been following him a little bit playing for Juventus.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think he's doing a great job. As a fan, he's keeping, for me, he's keeping the excitement up. Every time I see France play another team, I mean, even if I'm rooting for the other team, I'm very afraid of Pogba. I think he's just going to come in and,
He's one of those
just
game
knock
changers,
one in.
you're right. He's one of those game changers.
Yeah, he's really good.
Mace, for you, a player who's sort of been the man of the tournament so far for you?
As a young kid, if you're looking for a youngster, Origi, the Belgian striker,
Yeah.
who is 18, 19 years old and started the game. Now, that's amazing for him to do what he did. And he has got pace to burn. He's quick, he's fast, he's strong, he's physical. I think that he could be one for the future. And again, there's a lot of sides already touting for his services next season. So he could be on the move in a big money move as well.
John, we've obviously spoken to you about the play. You've told us the players that you like. But from you, I want to ask a different question. Player that you were a fan of and were expecting to see a lot of and are disappointed that you didn't get to in this World Cup?
Well, I think the player I'm a big fan of, and I wanted to see more of him, but there's a little bit of an over-dependence on him, and I'm not disappointed at all. So let me rephrase your question, is Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
And I just feel there seems to be just such a strong dependence on Lionel Messi because Aguero is injured and Higuain isn't performing like he did. So this most lethal strike force suddenly seems to have an over-dependence on Messi, and he somehow seems to come up with those goals just in the nick of time. So I'd like to see more of Messi, but I'd like to see a lot more support for Messi because I really believe that he is arguably the most mercurial player. He's amazing. His foresight is just amazing.
Okay, well, we know that Mace has to leave us right now, but before he goes, you want to make a quick prediction for the games tonight?
Oh.
Come on.
I will go. Argentina, who I've said will go through to the finals, will get beat.
Well, they will.
By Belgium.
Okay.
I think
That made him very happy. That made Vaichin very happy.
that's the only reason I've said it.
Yeah.
No.
He's buying dinner the next time, aren't you?
No, I think that they could have them because Argentina haven't shown up. And the other one,
Netherlands, you think, Will?
I think that one should be nailed on because I think Costa Rica have just gone as far as they can. They're happy to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't expected to get out of the group if you look at the group they were in. So, but they could go out there and just play with verve and just play and enjoy themselves and relax, no pressure. But I think we saw that yesterday with Colombia, and it doesn't work to an extent. So, I think they've gone as far as they can.
Okay. Well, we've gone as far as we could with Mace because he has to leave now. So, Paul, thank you so much for joining us on Klingon Football.
See you in a little while.
We're going to let you run.
I'll be back.
See you. He's just going to call Roy Hodgson. He's going to be back in a minute. He will come back. So we've got a little one-on-one with all our friends and fans who are on the Hangout. We've got Karan Rateria. Karan, are you with us?
Yes, and again it's Karn. Karan, you have a short memory, don't you?
I didn't know. I didn't give Paul a red card. You saw what happened. We had Paul and John on one couch. So then they were going to rename Vaichung and me George and Ringo. So that we complete that Liverpool circle right here. Karan, do you have horrible, right? Peter's reference. Terrible. Scratch that. Damn, it's like scratch it. Yeah, scratch it. Karan, do you have a question you'd like to ask?
Yeah, another question probably directed towards John with context to what we discussed with the ISL earlier. They said that it's probably like an incubation thing and it really needs to kick off, but how much will 2 months of football really help a country that wants to take part in the World Cup anytime soon?
Yeah, very good question, Karan. Very, very good question, and this is the question we posed to the organizers as well, and I completely agree with you. How much will 2 or 2.5 months really help? So this league starts on the 19th of September, one of the prerequisites as to why I got the franchise, and we're not corporate backed, Karan, I'd like to tell you, while all the other franchises have corporate backing, ours is the only franchise that does not. It's because our grassroots programs are really strong. So to answer your question, the reason why we got it is because the organizers believed that each team needs to have a very strong grassroots level program. B, what's going to happen, and this is my assumption, this is not the gospel truth, this is my assumption, and this is the way I would look at the ISL panning out over 3 or 4 years. Will it gain traction in year 1? I do not know. I'd hope so. But what would happen in year 2 and 3, the ISL and the I-League, which is the Indian Premier League, would merge at some point of time to form the Premier League of the country, and I think that's what we're hoping for, a boost in kind of viewerships, which is why we have this incubation league. To answer your other question, there's a big question mark on, are foreign players really going to, and this is a question even I posed, and I'd like to answer that on a public forum. Getting foreign players, would it really help the Indian audiences, and would it help the Indian grassroots level program? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because I think it's important to get some renowned names to get the eyeballs in. But what's important is to have a great mix of Indian players out there who can be developed from a younger age. So they get an opportunity to play with these guys. And we're hoping at Northeast United FC to have an all-Indian team by year 3. And that's our aim. We want complete zero dependence on any foreign player. We're proud to be Indians. We're proud to have a team by ourselves. And the idea is to send our players abroad or get the best kind of training facilities for all our players here. So I am very excited about the ISL, and I think if we have the right minds, and to be very fair and honest, Karan, I'm sitting here not promoting a film, very honestly. I've come on every program not promoting any film of mine. I just come here as a purist to promote football because I so totally love the game. And that's why I'm sitting here amongst people who are far more educated than me about the game, like Baichung, Niyati, and Paul. Gaurav, you're on my level, so just stay there. So we're hoping that the ISL takes off. That's why I have a team which I'm so very proud of. That's the Northeast United Football Club. And just as we speak, I must share this with you guys. I saw the jerseys today, and we have a very attractive looking team, a great looking team. We're soon going to announce our players, and hopefully we'll get the right kind of people involved on the team. Baichung, if you're listening. And Niyati, if you're listening too.
Please introduce to the players.
Yeah, that's fantastic, John. Great effort, honestly. We have Nidhi also. Nidhi, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, my question is for Baichung, and maybe Niyati can also answer that because it's relevant. So, we all get excited about the World Cup, and everyone watches it, and it's a great thing. We also have the ISL coming in, and football's getting promoted. But how far do you think we are from playing with the big boys? For example, a World Cup qualification, and what major changes need to be made for us to be able to be playing at that level?
I think Baichung can be up.
I think, to be honest, to play for the World Cup, I think we are still far away in doing that. But what we could really start right now is, the way the I-League is gone. I played in the I-League from the time it started till now, and also I owned a football club as well that played in the I-League. So it's not really taken the way it should have taken it. So I feel ISL is one of the reasons that can bring in popularity. If not, improve the standard. It can also, make a lot of kids go into the game. But yes, we need to start working seriously on grassroots level, and the clubs are going to do that. At the moment, I-League clubs, I'm scared that out of 14, 15 I-League clubs, maybe 1 or 2 are only serious about doing the strong grassroots level. So ISL coming in, obviously down the years, I think with ISL, they will have to make sure that they also work on grassroots and youth development, which is very, very important. But the most important thing here, I feel, in India is I think the club has to do much more in terms of bringing out the young talented players. But the worst thing what we have here in India is the people who are in state, district level associations, even state associations. I'm not saying all the state associations. I'm saying state associations, district associations. The people involved with football in this area needs to really be committed towards developing the sport and promoting the sport and really taking the sport forward. These guys are just there to sit and take the position and not do much.
So
And
grassroots, you got to work in the grassroots.
And I come from Sikkim as well. For me to get just into Sikkim Football Association is so difficult. They just don't let me get in. That's the kind of people we're dealing with. You know, if people like me who can't get into our own state association, imagine a lot of people who want to contribute to the game in other district associations, state associations, don't get.
That's
get
very sad because no one has more credibility than you in the
sad.
area, and if you can't.
And you know, these are the people who really need, because federation is not going to go to corners of Manipur, Arunachal, Sikkim, or Madhya Pradesh or Odisha. It's the district association, state association. They have to work.
Yep.
And in India today, we don't have that kind of committed people. You know, only one or two state associations has got, but most of them don't.
Well, we have a few soldiers for the cause. They're going to keep on battling, and yeah, all these journeys are always uphill, aren't they? But yeah, well, the brave make it, the toughest make it. Well, right now we're going to talk about some brave, tough, and beautiful moments that have happened in the World Cup 2014 so far. These are the cling-on moments of FIFA World Cup 2014. Welcome back. You're watching Castrol Activ Cling On to Football, and you know, we had spoken about so many great moments that have happened. You've been spoiled for choice as far as exciting moments have happened in this World Cup. Going to my three guests here. If you had to pick one as your moment of the World Cup so far, I'm going to start with Baichung Niyati, because you just went, oh, hang on, give me a second to think about this. Baichung, if you had to pick one.
For me, the best moment of World Cup is the flying header by
Van Persie?
Van Persie.
Oh, brilliant. That's a good choice.
That was for me, you know, that was the biggest match in the first round in the first round, and Spain had taken the lead.
And that goal it's what that goal did
and
as
we
well,
thought
right?
that Spain is just going to win easily, and that goal came out from nowhere. And just that flying in the air and getting that making that right connection, and also having that power, which you control that power and just, you know, just flow it over Cassia's goalkeeper, I think was absolutely brilliant.
I think that goal came out of nowhere and it sent everybody else exactly
if
there.
If you see it 100 times as well, you want to watch it more.
Yeah, you do.
That's the kind of
Niyati, your moment, because that's a good one.
My moment actually is kind of led to a lot of excitement and a lot of shock, which is what I started with. That's what the World Cup is about right now. It was the goals that Tim Howard didn't save.
Okay.
So like, he played exceptionally well. 16 saves in one match.
Yeah.
That was wow. But that one shot that was just on target and in the top corner that he couldn't get to because he was just a little bit far out from the goal.
Yeah.
That was the moment of excitement for everyone, because they were like, Belgium is through.
Yeah.
Belgium is going through.
Fair enough. And for you, John?
Gaurav, I really can't pinpoint one moment in the World Cup, but I think, again, coming back to James Rodriguez's ball where he chested it and then he slammed it into the goal. I mean, if you look at that carefully, Baichung Niyati, he actually looked behind before he took the ball onto his chest. So he read the whole area completely well before he slammed it into the goal, which is why I just feel that boy is just not a poster boy. There's something about that boy that makes him really special.
Yeah.
That's one. The other, I mean, if you really look at it, I think from the fun element, I think Ochoa was brilliant in the goal. Just him flying around the goal was absolutely beautiful to watch, and just a great element.
Defense Minister of Mexico. That's what he is. Well, you know, just want to quickly thank everyone who's watching and is a part of this very historic moment. This is India's biggest football hangout with Castrol Activ Cling On to Football. This is the first time in Asia that we're bringing this hangout to you instead of you having to come to us. That's right. We've had some great discussions. And as we go ahead, once again, we want to hear from you. What do you think were the best moments of the World Cup? So hashtag Cling On to Football on Twitter is how you can reach us tonight. So make sure you do give us a shout. Do we have somebody joining us on the hangout? Yes? Priya? Is that it? We have Priya joining us. Priya, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Priya. You want to tell us your favorite sort of Cling On moment of this World Cup?
I'd just like to say that the World Cup so far has been really exciting and dramatic, and it's probably been the best tournament that I've seen in a while, actually. So, just like to summarize the whole World Cup for you right now.
Excellent. Well, really quickly, we asked Paul what his predictions were. Baichung, your predictions for the semis?
Tonight match?
For tonight's quarters, who makes it to the semis?
For me, I think one semi has already been decided. It's Germany versus Brazil.
So now you have to tell me who you think is going to win.
For
that
the other semi-final would be the way Argentina has played. I think they've really, depended on Messi too much. I think somewhere down the line he might also not be able to deliver. And the way Belgium has been playing, I think they've been outstanding.
So you think Belgium?
So for me, Belgium to beat Argentina tonight and Netherlands to beat Costa Rica. So semi-finals would be Netherlands and Belgium. In fact, my finals also, the two finalists have given a very. It's a tough one, but I'm going for Belgium, Germany, all European.
Ooh, Belgium, Germany.
Going for
interesting. Big call. Niyati, for you?
For me, it's Argentina, Germany. For sure. Argentina, Germany, and, well, Netherlands. I think Netherlands
Three can't
will
play.
beat
Only
Costa
two will have to play. So you have to pick two.
No, so I think Argentina will beat Belgium, and I think Netherlands will beat Costa Rica today.
Okay. And for you, John?
I think it's going to be a Germany-Netherlands final. So, I mean, if you work backwards, then Netherlands obviously going to beat Costa Rica, and I feel Belgium may take it to the end with Argentina. But I just feel Netherlands will come out on top. That's where Baichung and I differ. But I think it's going to be a Germany-Netherlands final, and I've always said this from the start, and I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel it's going to be Germany's World Cup.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of people siding with Germany. I don't know, no one's giving Argentina a chance, so maybe I'll just go for Argentina. Or we'll check with Kishore. Kishore, who are you going with?
I'm for Argentina with you.
Argentina?
Yeah, I am. But it would be lovely to watch Brian Ruiz lift the World Cup. You know, that's like a fairy tale happening. Costa Rica winning the World Cup. Have you thought of that?
I don't think even Costa Rica thought of that. I don't think that. But it's a great story if it happens.
Yeah,
why
great.
not?
He was one of the players I liked a lot on the right, and I think he's an amazing player.
Well, thank you so much. We've got, of course, the tweets coming in for Be the Manager. We had asked you what would you do if you were a manager. England seems to become a favorite topic. We've got Aditya Kothari who says England should forget old players who have done well in the past and focus on the present. Now listen, if you're talking about Gerrard, bro, we've got to have a talk outside, right? We've got to talk outside. Another tweet coming in from Utsav P. Spain should not give up on tiki-taka. The cold weather in Russia will make fast play difficult to execute. Interesting, good point. Sanjay Rajak says play with 4-4-2 formation with Brazil, especially now after Neymar's injury. Forward isn't as good as others, so focus on midfield. You're talking about Fred. You're saying Fred is not good. Really?
So far, he's right.
So far, Fred hasn't checked in, right? Yeah. Don't even think we've seen him on the field so far. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for sending in those tweets. Anything you'd want to do as a manager, Baichung? Something that someone's done you'd like to do differently?
Yeah, I think the last one was quite interesting with Neymar out. I don't actually mind, Brazil going 4-4-2, and which Scolari actually might do that. Yeah, and
strengthen the midfield.
Yeah, so he could actually do that, and bring in Hulk and Fred up front. So that's a good thought, I would say.
Who's the manager? Who's the coach who's impressed you the most in this World Cup?
Well, I like Peckerman. Yeah, I think he was amazing, and he made a difference. Of course, another coach who I think is extremely powerful, and you really see his work happening out there is Van Gaal.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I know there's a lot of Indian fans who'll be very happy with how well he is going.
Van Gaal.
Are you a Manchester United fan?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Very. Is that the reason you're supporting the Netherlands?
Yes. No, but I love how they play. I've been a Netherlands fan for a while now. It's
not as long as us. We're Marco van Basten fans. Yeah. All right. I don't know if you even saw him play.
No.
You did, right? So we're like Marco van Basten era.
But I have seen Nistelrooy play. Huge fan of Van der Sar, of course, because of United. So for me, my relationship with Netherlands goes way back.
Children, I tell you.
I just hope Niyati, things change now, and I hope there's a greater sense of belonging now to our clubs out here. So we'll have a lot of Northeast United FC fans, right, Baichung?
Absolutely. I think with the ISL, I think you'll have a lot of fans.
Yeah,
we
want
a lot of
that.
these youngsters would actually say Northeast United or a Mumbai FC, Bombay team. Or
That'd be great. No, it'd be fantastic. But right now, we're going to talk about another interesting point. You guys will really like this as fans. This is the Dream Team Castrol Index.
We've developed a definitive system for rating the world's best players. The Castrol Index uses the latest technology to objectively analyze and rank player performance. The Castrol Index tracks every move on the field and assesses whether it has a positive or negative impact on a team's ability to score or concede a goal. A key factor for all areas of performance in the Castrol Index is which zone on the pitch the action takes place. Players receive points for each successful pass they complete, but the number of points awarded depends on which zones the ball is passed from and received in. Similarly, misplaced or intercepted passes are penalised depending on how much trouble the mistake is likely to land the team in. The Castrol Index is also able to split up the rewards of a goal between penalising the goalkeeper for letting in a shot he should have saved and rewarding the attacker for scoring a goal. The number of points awarded for tackles, interceptions and blocked shots also depends on which zone they're made. Successfully tackling the ball from a striker near the penalty spot will earn more points than a tackle out on the wing. Conceding free kicks and penalties will result in deductions. Castrol's team of performance analysts crunch all the data and award each player a score out of 10. The higher the score, the better the player's performance. The Castrol Index can help you see football from a completely different perspective. You'll now know which players truly deserve to grab all the headlines.
Okay, let's look at the standings also of the Castrol Dream Team Index, and then I'm going to get in Baichung, who's going to talk to us about his dream team. There's major discussion going on, animated discussion between Baichung and Niyati about picking their dream team 11. Don't try to influence each other, it's okay.
No.
Niyati, are you trying to change his mind or take tips from him?
No, yeah, I was trying to take tips from him.
Tips. That's sweet.
Well,
so will you tell us then, Baichung, what's your dream team, your 11?
My 11 has been completely, this team has been completely attacking team. I don't care about defending much. I want them to score 10 goals and concede.
What else did you expect a striker to say?
I want them to score 10 goals and don't mind conceding 7 as well at the back. But yes, looking at my dream team, obviously goalkeeper for me is Team Howard. The Neuer is very close. He's got 2 more matches. But so far, till now, I think Team Howard has been my goal. On the right, I've been very impressed with Zabaleta, who's been outstanding, for the team. Defense line for me, captain for this squad is going to be Company. The Belgian defender. He's a captain for the Belgian side as well. He's been outstanding throughout this tournament. Thiago Silva, again, another outstanding player who's been out. Unluckily, he's not going to play. But he
won't play your next match.
Yes, but he's been a great player so far. On the left, little difficult one, but I went with Marcelo. So far, Brazilian, though they've not been able to do so far, nothing much. But here, the interesting thing is the midfield. 3 midfielders are all attacking. You've got on the right, James Rodriguez, Muller, and Robin.
Wow.
Forward line is you've got Sanchez as single striker. Then I've got Messi and Neymar on both the sides.
My goodness. So, you're right. You are looking at what you said 10. I'm saying 25 goals.
I'm just looking at everybody. Just go attack, and there's a saying that attack is the best form of defense.
It is. And you've got one goalkeeper at the back. Just leave him alone. It's fine. It's a lonely job. Niyati, your dream team?
My dream team is very controversial, which is what I was telling Baichung right now actually. And I was like, oh no, now how do I say this? Beginning with Casillas in the goal.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get a lot of slack.
Yeah, you might.
But you can't make a team on the looks.
Yeah. I'm the only girl here. I can't. I absolutely can.
Yeah.
So
you may want to have Ocho or Howard as your reserve.
No, I would actually want to have him as my first 11 now. But to be honest, this was my dream team before the World Cup started.
Okay, fair enough. So Casillas in goal. Who else?
Yeah, Casillas in the goal. We've got Ramos and Mascherano kind of pulling the fort right in front of him. And but what was really like the most important for me was formation.
Yeah.
Okay, this World Cup, and I've noticed it since I put this team together. 4-3-3 formations are working really, really well.
Yeah.
Because with such strong goalkeepers, I think you need that attack. I think you really, really need your midfield to be strong, and I think you need your midfield to fuel very good forwards, very good strikers. Which is why, as my strikers, I've got Neymar, who is out, which is really heartbreaking. I've got Messi in the center, and I've got Robin on the side. Like I said, my heart goes out to Robin now. And Messi's just been a favorite. He's so skillful with the ball. It's such a treat to watch as a footballer, as a fan, and as a girl.
I love how you said I've got Robin on the side.
Just he's my wingman.
Got him on the side. I've got John on my side here, not in the same way though. John, you're 11. I know you've been forwardly scribbling away and making some substitutions.
Yeah. So just to let the people out there know that what you're going to see on screen, there are quite a few changes.
You made substitutions already?
I already made my substitutions because actually there's been a bit of a mistake. So let me start with the goalkeeper. Though I like Ochoa, my first choice there is Neuer in the goal because I think, like I said, he plays the role of a sweeper as well.
Okay.
So Neuer in the goal. So guys, please register this as I'm talking. At the back, I'd like Yepes in the center, Luis on the left.
He almost had a goal yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah. And I like Isla on the right from Chile. Then in the center, I'd like James Rodriguez, where he is right now. And in place of Gustavo, I want Philip Lam out there. On the outside, instead of Brian Ruiz, I'm okay with Ruiz, or I'd like Alexis Sanchez out there. And in Blind's place, I'd like Müller because I want the team to be attacking. And I know Müller runs up in front, and so does Alexis Sanchez. They run up the flanks in front. So you have a 5-2-3 formation. In front, of course, Neymar, unfortunately, like Niyati said, Neymar is not there now. But Neymar, Messi, and Robin. And I feel that is my team. So for guys, you know the changes I've made. I think I've got a pretty well set team.
Yeah, you are.
I agree. Your strikers are great.
My strikers are great. so that's my team. So get the changes out there, and we've got a good team. Yeah.
We want to hear from your fans as well. So if you can tell us what your dream team is, we want to hear from you. This is something that always ends up causing a lot of argument. नहीं, मेरी team में ये है, मेरी team में ये है, नहीं ये ज़्यादा अच्छा है, ज़्यादा अच्छा है. So do send us your favorite 11 for this World Cup. Hashtag cling on to football. So that's where it is. So please send us that. We also have a word on the street that's coming up. John, do you need to run, or would you like to have a quick look at this, or do you have to run?
Yeah, sure. I'll look at this and I'll run.
Okay, great. So he's gonna, hopefully he'll still be here when we come back from this. Let's have a quick look at the word on the street. I'm gonna tie him to the sofa.
Colombia definitely. Costa Rica is one of the underground. Colombia.
Belgium and Colombia.
Belgium. Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
I believe France. Nobody's talking about them.
Brazil itself.
Costa Rica. Colombians.
Costa Rica. Colombia. Costa Rica. I think it's Costa Rica.
Costa Rica definitely.
Brazil or Germany.
Brazil and Germany.
Brazil against Argentina.
Argentina.
Germany.
Brazil. I think Brazil will make it to the finals, I'm quite sure.
The Netherlands and Brazil.
Germany versus Portugal, white horse. Argentina scoring at 90 minutes. Van Persie's opening header.
The last match of Argentina, in which Argentina scored in the next to extra time, 117 minutes.
Brazil against Chile in the 116 in the penalties.
Robin Van Persie's header.
Van Persie's header.
Colombia's goal of number 10th player.
Spain going out of the World Cup.
Brazil versus Chile, penalties.
The dog bite.
I would say the Suarez biting incident.
Suarez bites.
Unfortunately, Suarez biting.
I think he's really stupid. Suarez is a good player, but I think he's touched in the head.
Messi. Muller.
As in Robin, it's Thomas Muller.
Robin Van Persie.
Messi.
Neymar.
Neymar.
Maybe Thomas Müller.
Thomas Müller. Come on. It has to be him.
Neymar Jr. I think he's damn cute and he's hot. Messi, for no doubt. Messi. I think it's David Beckham, but he's not playing anymore, so. I think it's Messi. He looks really hot. Messi is cute, but I think RVP is hotter. Messi. Neymar for sure. I like Ronaldo, but Dhruv in my school was cuter. RVP. Ronaldo. Unfortunately, he's out. Messi!
Well, the one thing that we can safely say, of course, is there's a lot of opinion that's out in India, and that's what the World Cup does. It sort of unites and divides on a daily basis because you have your favorite players from favorite clubs, your favorite managers and coaches, and suddenly they're wearing different colors, they're playing in different combinations. More importantly also, you end up not liking countries where you have players from clubs that you don't like. Keep that in mind as well. That ends up happening also. We've got John still here. I managed to do nothing. I just begged him because honestly I couldn't physically do anything that was stronger than his reaction, so I just begged him, and he stayed. And he stayed to tell us something very important, which is how all of us, all of you fans, can join him in a nice big viewing party, and how he's going around waking everybody up on behalf of Castrol Activ. Like an Activon.
Well, yeah, of course, there's going to be the semi-finals on the 8th night and the 9th night, and this is to all you guys out there. I'd like to invite you to watch the semi-finals with me, the second semi-finals with me on the 9th at my place, at my designated place. And like I said,
people like, whoa, we're going to go to his house.
Yeah, no,
fans out there were going, whoa.
You know, honestly, I'd love people to come home and watch the game with me. And I say this speaking from my heart. I'd really love for people to come and watch and discuss. It's great fun. We'll have friends coming over tonight as well. So I'd love for you to come over, and what you have to do is just swing by and cling on to the World Cup, and you've got to get onto the Football Frenzy section of yahoo.com and just answer a few simple questions, and if you answer those questions right, you get to watch the semi-finals with me and a lot more of my friends, and we'll have a great time together, and I can promise you good food. Drinks, I don't know because I don't drink, but I can promise you good food.
And I can guarantee you that because I've seen a lot of the last World Cup at his place. There's a lot of good food that comes. There's also a lot of sweet stuff that comes, which you don't touch.
Which I don't touch. I make everybody have some sweet, but there's a lot of Parsi food that comes. Yeah. And I love Parsi food, so you can have a lot of it.
It's the best kind of food. All right, before we go, just to round off, Baichung, if you just want to quickly round off the World Cup, what it's been so far, and something that you haven't seen that you really like to see in these last few days that are left.
I think teams like Brazil, obviously last match was okay, but teams like Brazil, Argentina are trying to play more as a team, not really only putting in one-man show, Argentina depending only on Messi and Brazil only on Neymar. So I would want to see, I think, big teams which we saw, Spain did not do it, Italy could not do, England did not do it. But teams like Argentina, Brazil, to really go on a team game and have that kind of game which we would love to see them play, but just not depend on one-man show, and and also a lot of important goals have been happening on dead balls, free kick, corner kick, penalty shootout. I would want to see more open game and open goals that's happening.
You, Niyati, what else would you like to see besides Netherlands picking up the cup and besides Robin getting the golden boot, besides all these things?
So exactly what Baichung said. I want to see these big teams play each other in the very exciting semi-finals. Really get some passing going on and not get goals just on dead balls. I want to see a lot less yellow cards and a lot less fouls. That's kind of not doing so well for me. It's not entertaining to see fouls and to see the flow of the game breaking over and over again. For a fan, it's quite upsetting. Actually, and so many players out, so many players injured already. That's something I don't want to see for sure.
Okay. Well, John, I know you need to run, but quickly you're going to give us one more the wake-up call thing that you're doing for Castrol.
Absolutely. So if you guys don't want to miss a game, then you call 8899 888 998, and I will wake you up before the game that you want to watch. And that's very important.
Is it the question only is it going to be sort of a gentle wake-up call, or is it going to be a loud sort of throw some water on them kind of
well, honestly, I've done all the moves.
Everything.
So wake them up and wake them up nicely, and we've done everything.
It depends. Are you one of those kids who wakes up in the morning and says, "Mummy, 5 minutes or so now, please"? If you're one of those, then you get the harsh treatment. You get the tough love. Now, John, we're going to do a little substitution right now. We're gonna replace Beetle for Beetle. John's gonna go and Paul's gonna come back in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna awesome. John, thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye. See you.
All right, so John's gone, but don't worry. We have Paul who's coming back to join us. Beetle substitution. The game couldn't end without a substitution, right?
Absolutely.
We had to have one in the dying moments of the game. Paul, if we could have you back on, please. There he is.
I tell you what, that's an inspired substitution.
It is an inspired substitution. We expect some last-minute fireworks from you as we go into the dying moments of the game.
No problem.
Not a problem?
What do you want?
I like how I think he's sort of spruced himself up a little bit.
Who do you want me to hammer?
Nobody at all. We wanted, of course, they spoke about their Dream 11.
Yeah.
You want to tell us some of the names on your
I've
Dream
got
11?
I've got mine here, I think, somewhere.
Have you?
Yeah. Right. I've got Courtois in goal.
Okay.
One of the best young keepers that there is around. 100% is definitely going to be Chelsea's #1 next year. I've heard that on the grapevine. Petacek's going to play secondary. Debuchy, the fullback from France, has been, for me, outstanding. Rojo, even though he's suspended tonight at left back. Two centre halves, Company and Silva. Again, two real natural leaders. Then I've gone with that as a back four. Di Maria, Pogba, Robin in the middle of the park. Very attack-minded, of course. It's not ticky-tack. We'll get the ball up there and we'll play in the final third. And then Neymar, Messi, and obviously James Rodriguez. So that's my starting 11, which has got goals all over it.
Yeah.
It's attacking, flowing football, and I'm sure you guys picked some of the same names that I did as well.
There was a few similarities there as well. We're getting a lot of similarities from all of you on Twitter as well. There's one name which everybody seems to have now, and I'm not sure if you would have had it 4 weeks ago. That's James Rodriguez is suddenly getting into everybody's dream team. That's the kind of, you love when that kind of story happens in a World Cup, isn't it?
That's what the World Cup's all about. I've watched him this year, and I've listened and I've heard and read some reports, and they've been talking about how wonderful he's been at Monaco. I've covered the French league this year. He hasn't been. He's had a couple of good games here and there. He's been inconsistent. Again, you mentioned by that he's a 22-year-old. That's the thing. He's a young boy. But to come in and explode the way that he did with that goal, I mean, talk about announcing yourself on a world stage. Yeah. It's stunning, and that's what the World Cup's about. It's about heroes. It's about zeros. It's about emerging talent. We mentioned the likes of Pogba, Origi. You know, we mentioned these players as well, and this is the future generation that all the young kids out there are going to look up to.
Well, yeah, you have all these players, of course, and teams are trying to piggyback on them. And a player's really big when not just the teams, but Brazilian grasshoppers are trying to piggyback on him as well for a little extra bit of fame. That's how good Rodriguez has been. So, #ClingOnToFootball. We're expecting your little dream teams to come in there. So please, if you could send them to us. This, of course, has been a very special Castrol Activ Cling On to Football, because this is the first time that a Hangout has come to you and you don't have to come to us. So we hope that you've enjoyed it. We'd like to thank everybody who's here. Niyati, thank you so much. It's been really refreshing to have a real fan of the game here as well, because otherwise these boys just get all technical on me.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks for having me. More than anything, it's great to be here with you guys, with Baichung, with you, with Paul, and
what you
with
talking
John.
about? We're not even 18 yet. I could do a cup of green tea if you want. Yeah.
No, it's really nice. Plus, you guys have been very nice, especially with my extremely controversial favorite 11.
Yeah.
You all didn't see Giroud, who I put on the side, to mention anything about it.
Discarded.
Yeah.
Go away, brother.
Yeah, but you guys make me feel very comfortable. I feel great as a fan to be here, and it's such an exciting work.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, really making me cling on to it.
Yeah. Baichung, for you, has it really been the kind of World Cup that you expected? Because I remember us talking in the beginning, and I don't think we could have expected this to happen in the last 2 weeks. That's happened. It's gone kind of nuts, hasn't it?
Yes, obviously I didn't expect Spain to go out so early. In fact, I put Spain to go all the way and going up to the finals.
I was trying not to.
Not winning it as well. Not winning it as well. But great thing is that a lot of South American teams have done really well, even the smaller teams. And good thing about this World Cup is the number of goals we've been able to see, because people people watch football games, and anybody who goes to the ground would only want to watch goals, because that makes it more interesting and that changes the game. That the entire football is just about goals, I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm a striker as well, so I would definitely want to see more goals, and that's what has been given to us. And I hope the remaining matches also don't go up to extra time. I want to see them, maybe if they go to extra time as well, with goals in 90 minutes, and that's what I think football is. Where more goals we see, the more excitement the World Cup is going to be.
Belgium, but really, I mean, you pick teams, you end up doing these things, and sometimes the conditions we don't sort of aren't cognizant about. But people keep talking about that. But honestly, as a player, tell us, have these conditions really made a difference to some teams, and more now than they have in previous editions?
Definitely, it's made a lot of difference, because the weather conditions play a major role, and I being a player myself, I experienced that.
You played somewhat 48 degrees.
I played in 42 degrees, gone off to Europe or somewhere in Asia where I played almost in minus temperatures in Japan. It makes a huge difference, and I can say it from the players' point of view that when players from England come in, the best players, they go on to play in a humid and hot conditions, they definitely struggle. So I think that's the reason why as well. We've not seen the team that, especially Germany, Spain, European clubs are known to play fast pace. If you look at English Premier League and you look at Italians or Spanish or German, it's a very fast paced game. But World Cup, because of the temperature, it's slowed down a bit. Yeah. But nevertheless, we've seen number of goals have really increased. But I think it does play a big role when the climatic conditions are different from where you come from.
Yeah. What about Mace, we get you into this, the referee? I mean, we spoke about, don't get me started. How much time do you have? I could go on till Russia 2018. I could, yes. But even last night's game, I mean, there was a lot of talk saying, hey, Colombia should be really proud of themselves because they were a man down from the time it kicked off.
That's harsh. Yeah, that's harsh. I think one of the genius things has been bringing in that spray can. Yeah, because it stopped encroachment. True. Straight away. So there you stop yellow cards. I think the biggest problem is, and it's going to be the same with all the referees, with any tournament that's held, is the consistency levels. All players want, all coaches want, all fans want, is for it to be, totally transparent and consistent. So if I'm playing against you and something happens and a free kick's given, if they're playing over there and something happens and the free kick's not given, that's not consistent. That's what drives fans, players, everybody right up the wall. So it needs to be addressed, but it's so difficult because the human element's in there. What to do?
Yesterday, we saw two matches. Seemed like they were just in two completely different galaxies almost, the two matches that we saw yesterday. Do you put that down to just sort of the kind of football that the Europeans play versus that kind of Latin American kind of, rough and fast kind of football? Or was it just these teams were bound down by conditions or pressure or expectation? What was it? Why did we see such distinctly different styles of football over those two games yesterday?
I think the countries have their own distinct styles to an extent. Yeah. The Germans, you know what you're going to get from them. The French, it's a little bit more flair is in there. And like you say, when it comes to South America, it's anything goes. You just go and you're supposed to go and enjoy yourself. So I think that plays a big part. The conditions, like Baichung said, it may affect later on in the tournament because of the number of games that the Germans have played. But that being said, they've had more time to acclimatise. So they may be even better prepared. I mean, they had ice buckets for each individual player after the warm-up. So everybody went back in there, they iced themselves down with cold towels and everything to make sure that they were ready to go out there again. So you can overcome that sort of thing. But again, it's just each country, each coach, and it's important with the coach and all the players as well. They have their own style, their own panache, their own way of playing, and that's just what it is.
We did bring that up when you had left that time about managers who've impressed, about coaches who've impressed in this World Cup. Your pick? A few, if you want.
I think Frank Howell. Yeah. To take on the biggest, arguably the biggest club side in the world, and still maintain and manage one of the expected semi-finalists in a World Cup finals is amazing, because he's signing players and he's not even there. And he's obviously speaking to people on the phone. He's also he's doing two jobs at once at the moment. So I think that shows what he's about, and I think he's getting it tactically spot on as well. So,
if you want to complain about a tough work week, just think about Van Gaal, Netherlands on one side, Manchester United on the other, and he still looks pretty cool. I mean, that suit and tie is impeccably dressed. It's nice and pressed. There's no problem there. Well, listen, gentlemen, gentlemen and lady, we have to go now. But is there any final words that you'd like to say to all the fans that have been here with us on our little Castrol Activ Hangout? Not so little, actually.
Ladies
Oh,
first.
yeah.
Ladies first.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to the finals now because huge big teams, and actually taking a cue from what one of our friends on the Hangout said, Kishore, what if Costa Rica goes to the final? What do we do?
What do we do?
What's gonna happen?
This is a good question. What do we do? Who are we going to support if that happens? Listen,
I would support Costa
I have to
Rica.
tell you, this is very embarrassing though, Baichung, and you're not going to like this at all. 5 days ago, I was in Indonesia and I woke up in the middle of the night because I had this dream that Belgium had won the World Cup. And people were really confused because they said, and I don't know, this may sound a little politically incorrect, because they said, but it's such a boring team, how do we celebrate? We can only make waffles. And that's when I woke up. Hashtag true story. I swear on myself that this is a true story. And that's when I woke up and I said, got to watch less football. This is going nuts. I'll be happy when it's Russia and it's closer to our waking hours than our sleeping hours right now. But you'd be very happy if Belgium wins, wouldn't you?
I think the kind of football they've played so far, the kind of team they have, the kind of talent they have, I would not be surprised if they can win it as well. So I think that's the reason why this World Cup has been great, because who would have thought Belgium are going to play the way they've been playing and maybe go on to win the World Cup as well. So it's been fantastic. I think as a footballer and as a fan of football now, I think it's been great World Cup. So I'm looking forward to the finals, semi-finals and finals. In fact, I'm looking forward to tonight's match, Argentina and Belgium, which is, I think, going to be one of the best matches of the entire World Cup 2014.
Yeah, I hope so. I think after last night's game, after Brazil, Colombia, you'd want this one as well to be one of those real firecracker matches at the edge of the seat, lots of action. But do you think, I don't know, there's not too many people backing that Costa Rica theory of Niyatis, but are you writing off Argentina just as yet? Because a lot of people seem to be.
I think you can only go on form, and you can only go on what we've seen in the tournament so far. The teams have played 4 games each.
Yeah, but
and you tell me, have Belgium played better or have Argentina played better?
We've also seen that somehow it's not even just from game to game. Teams are playing differently from half to half.
But that's because the manager's getting it wrong.
Yeah.
He's getting it wrong at the start of a game, and because what's happening is they're coming up against opponents, and all of a sudden the opponents are attacking. He's going, oh my God, didn't see that one coming. It's not working. I've got to change my formation, my tactics. Right, we'll try and hang on till half time, then we can change it, and then we can move from there. And you are right. It happened the other day with Argentina in the last group game, where he got it so wrong it was untrue. Yeah. But bang, at half time he made the changes, clinical, bump, and they look like a team again.
I think that's where Spain, I felt, also got it wrong from the day one. I think the kind of formation, the kind of play they started with, especially with Costa, I think he's not played that kind of style. He's come into World Cup with injury. And look at when they made changes the last game, brought in David Silva and Torres to start. They were playing free kind of football and had 3 goals as well. So
I said it last time as well. Diego Costa was a victim of negative will of 80,000 people sitting inside the stadium. You leave your country, you go, come back there to play for another one. There's 80,000 people going, fail, fail, you traitor, fail. But Belgium, we spoke about that as well. It is a big thing. I joke about it, but it's a big thing. The will of people. A Salt Lake Stadium with 120,000 people cheering your name can make you run a yard faster.
And also can be just opposite. Can you just, you can just be a really bad player if 80,000 people are just going on booing you every time you got the ball. So it makes a huge difference when you have fans behind you.
Yeah, particularly if you're the home team and they're booing you. That's the worst. Oh, been there.
But listen, we've had, of course, a lot of you behind us here. This has been one of it's actually the first football hangout in Asia which has used this kind of technology. We've got this to you. You didn't have to come to us. So thank you so much for joining us. In case you missed all the fun that we had, all that we spoke about, here's a little recap for you. Enjoy this.
Big disappointment from Brazil. It was a step back instead of a step forward. Yeah. No one could have predicted 5-1. Yeah. If you did, you'd be a millionaire now by just putting 10.
Enough. We've heard you enough. Get out of here. We're going to get out of here because we all need to prep as fans for the big games coming up tonight. So we hope you enjoy the quarterfinals tonight. And we're going to go just stretch ourselves right now. Mace, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Pleasure being here.
Thank you for being here. Baichung, thank you so much for being here. And Niyati, thank you for bringing in a completely different perspective on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
And wasn't it great, everybody out there tuning in and interacting as well, and getting the texts and the messages and the tweets and everything?
Loved it.
Brilliant.
Loved it. Because this is all about the fans, about the enthusiasts. So I really thank you for being part of Castrol Activ. Cling on to football. We're going to leave now, but keep enjoying the football, keep loving the football, keep loving it. Even when it comes to India, go out and support your local club. From me, Gaurav Kapoor, it's goodbye. Thanks so much for watching. Shall we?
Oh, let's go.
Ladies,